comes to, sorry about that, folks, a technical glitch. When it comes to other headline that's been making the news, man, this one is a bit disturbing. I don't even want to report this, but I have to because I, that's what I do. I like to bring like headlines. This one is another AI alert. It says that from the, and this is ridiculous, they will have an AI machine that will be welcoming you guys now at the Department of Motor Vehicles as your school driver. If you would like, if you want to get your automobile license, or your driver's license, if you will, in the future, an AI will be your professor, and you will have an AI machine to examine you before you are qualified to get your driver's license. You will have an AI machine to actually monitor you after you get your driver's license to examine your driving behavior patterns. So if you have road rage, this machine will be there. I mean, they will have a chip there to examine you as a student to see if you really took the driving course, if you passed it, if you did not pay under the table to obtain your license. This is to avoid traffic accident because let's face it, many people get their driver's license, folks, and sometimes I wonder if they really took the course because they are driving all over the place when they're in public. And again, another reason to appreciate this wonderful piece of technology, but again, it's on who's programming it. And they are also working on having AI judges in the courthouse. So, and some, it will be applicable when it comes to traffic cases, minor cases like for when it comes to like family court or social service court. Like, if, for example, if let's say you are having what they call this, it's a child or who's been put up for adoption from like the parenting program. You may, if you go, if you have a court appearance, if you go to the courthouse within the next 10 years or so, do not be shocked if they have a droid deciding the fate of the child, whether you are the parent or whether you are the biological parent or the parent looking to adopt the child. The fate of this kid will be in the hand of an AI machine. More powers to the AI program. But again, I hope that you do not come across one of them droids deciding your fate in the courthouse. And yep, and moving on to another topic here. Man, I'm running out of topics, and they're not even funny this week. I was hoping to make you guys laugh, but this is getting more ridiculous the more I talk about this AI stuff. And now, in case you are not aware, this weekend there's been a lot of headlines about the young artist. Well, not young, she's about my age. I'm 36, she's 35. The young lady named Lizzo. And if you are waiting for me to make a joke, I will not make a joke about this because I find that when someone is down, you don't kick them while they're down. And the young lady have never said anything about me, and I've made jokes not on the air. I have made jokes privately regarding the matter. And Lizzo, I wish that everything that they've been saying about you in the media is all allegation, not facts. Again, we will pray for you on behalf of the community. I will not talk bad about you. And I hope that one day you can look at this and just laugh as you reflect on it. Because I know when people get to the high life, they tend to lose their way, folks. And it's the price you pay for being in the high life. Cameras in your face, you don't know how to react. But this was more of a personal affair between Lizzo and her team. And for those of you who's been making fun of the young lady, and again, like I said, I've made jokes, and privately, I will not make joke about her publicly, whether I'm doing an audio session recording or a video recording, because I find that it is unfair to the artist. I don't live her life. I don't know what she's been through. As they say, as you get older, you tend to mature a little bit. Me, I can say a little bit because by 5%. So, based on my maturity, I will leave you alone. I will not make any joke about Lizzo, and I highly suggest that you guys please ease up on Lizzo, and that's where I will leave that topic. And for the ladies, and who's been following the case of Megan the Stallion from the state of Texas. She has won the case for the assault charge against the young rapper from Ontario, Canada, Brampton to be precise. Tory Lanez. Apparently, Tory Lanez has been found guilty and may face 3 years in jail for the assault. Well, he damn near blew her foot off with a revolver, and the young man who may, if they go along or go ahead with the sentence, he may serve up to 3 years behind bars. And speaking behind bars, and this topic had me gassed over the weekend, and this happened in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, we all know about the Gaza Strip, folks, and the wars that's going on there in that area. But I don't, me, I always find jokes when it comes to. It's not even funny to me, but this have nothing to do with the situation there in the Palestine. This was more regarding the animals there, and this one here will have you laughing your ass off because according to this fun facts, it says on the crowded streets of Gaza, horse-drawn carts continue to assist the population. As we all know, in the Middle East, people use a lot of rickshaws. In Africa too, in African culture, we know that rickshaws to migrate their goods, whether they're selling grains, meat at the market. They have to bring it from the farms, and they have to transport it by horse, and most of the time, or camels. It depends on the area where you live. But this one here, according to the laws in Palestine, if you live in the Gaza area, if you own a horse, if you own a camel, it is by law now to have these animals in diapers while they are servicing you publicly. Because if you fail to put a diaper on your horse, and if you live in Palestine right now in the Gaza area, you will be fined by the municipality of your junction if your horse is not in diapers, folks. It is facts. If you want to check it out yourself, please do so. I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm being dead ass. If you own a horse or a camel and you happen to live in the Palestine, especially in the Gaza area, you will be required to have a diaper on your horse while in public because they are tired and sick of it, of having your horse taking crap in the street, dirtying up the street corners, and people are having respiration issues inhaling horse feces smells. So now they've made it mandatory to have diapers on your horses if you are in Gaza. Meanwhile, in America, our stallions, no pun intended to Megan, are running out here twerking without diapers on. And folks, I don't know where we are heading when it comes to our some of our stallions over here who are not subjugated to these rules and these conditions to wear diaper in public. You know what the expression says, right? Once a man, twice a child. And I do believe that one day I myself, your presenter, will be in diapers if I do reach my senior age in this life. I hope not. But folks, we should treat ourselves like we treat our animals. If they're doing it over there in the Palestines, I believe that the same rule should be applied to North American animals in public. We should start putting diapers on all our horses, especially downtown Montreal in the old port in the Vieux Port. I used to go there in my youth and see horses go back and forth, crapping all over the street, and nobody say anything at all. And so I would like to be the spokesman for Huggies if they're willing to hire me to do commercials for them, for our animals, because I do believe that some of our stallions, four-legged and two-legged, deserve to wear diapers in public because we don't want to put up with the smells anymore. When it comes to our streets, we would like our streets to be well maintained, cleaned, so that way we can attract more tourists. A win-win situations for the province of Ontario. That's all I have for today, folks. I don't have funny headlines. Today was more about like facts and retro old cases I wanted to bring up to make sure that the population was aware, for those who listen to my podcast. If you don't, I do not care. And moving on to sports, and I would like to jump to my next segment, which is sports. And today, I would like to tap back into some of my betting odds, which I called for you guys over the weekend. And I hope that you guys were counting your bread. And if you guys lost some of your bets, I'm not responsible. Again, my job is to present. Your job is to, if you want to take it serious, to place your wagers. So I will link my daily odd debrief with my 7th day, as I always do on Mondays or Tuesday if I'm late. When it comes to the Women World Cup 2023 results over the weekend, folks, congratulations. I would like to hand down my congratulations to the following teams: Spain, Japan, the Netherlands yesterday with a 2-0 victory over South Africa. Sweden, this was a shocker to me. If you follow the US ladies national team, like me, I don't follow them like religiously, but when they're playing in the World Cup tournament, I always like to watch the ladies have fun. And unfortunately, the United States could not defeat Sweden. The game went to a penalty shootout, I believe, where Sweden eliminated the United States in a shootout. And England, as I predicted, was going to have a tough game against Nigeria, and the game was tough. And Nigeria held England for 90 minutes, and they went to extra time in the penalty shootout, where Nigeria was defeated by England. And now the three Lionesses are moving towards the gold. Now they are in the final eight in the quarterfinals. And also a big congratulations to Australia by defeating Denmark 2-0. That one was a result that shocked me. I did not expect Australia to beat Denmark. And that one came as a surprise. I did call for them to give Denmark a challenge because they were either or one of them was going to get through or not. But Australia was superb for 90 minutes, completely dominated Denmark and beating them 2-0 as a result, qualifying for the last eight in the Ladies World Cup for 2023 in Australia. And elsewhere, and I was watching the Community Shield where Arsenal participated in the inauguration of the 2023-2024 soccer, if you're in North America or if you're in England, football season, defeating Manchester City in a penalty shootout 4-1 after a 1-1 draw. I did not, I was able to watch the game, not to its entirety. I was able to watch the second half of the game. I'm not excited. I'm not excited this year, as I told many Arsenal fans before in my previous podcast. A lot of you guys were excited about this, and I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for my football club for winning the first trophy of the year. And Manchester City fans, there is nothing to complain about. You guys had a magnificent 2022-23 season where you guys dominated every single team in Europe, including the great Real Madrid. Manchester City, big up to you, chin up. There is nothing to complain about here. And many Arsenal fans, I understand that what it means to you guys to win our first silverware of the season, our major trophy. This is a major, by the way, even though it's a community shield. It don't means much, but with all that we've been through last season, the highs and lows, we've all heard of the Robbie Lyle stories. We got bigger fish to fry. We must not. Folks, let's not get excited like last year. Me, I'm taking it one game at a time. Just like I did towards the end of the season last year, I will not get excited. From time to time, when there are big matches, I will participate in the live blogs. But this year, I'm back to my old self, doing what I used to do as an old Arsenal fan. People say it's a negative attitude to have towards your club. Me, I'd say it's called watching with caution. I have my headphone. I got my team next to my by my bedside. I'm watching my game, taking notes. Now I'm not watching the game for excitement no more. I'm watching the game and taking notes. And in that performance against Manchester City, I would like to give a big shout out to Julian Timber from the Netherlands, our new signee for in the defensive core. We signed him primarily to play right back for us and also left wing back. The man can play center back. He's a jack of all trades defensively for my club. This dude yesterday was awesome. 10 out of 10 performance if you want to rate the player. Julian Timber delivered. And I would like to say shame on the broadcasters who were picking on Declan Rice yesterday. Yes, that's why I like to watch the game now silently to take notes. I'm watching the game with a notebook taking notes. And the way they were tearing Declan Rice apart for the astronomical fees that Arsenal paid for him, which is 105 million pounds over the summer to bring him to North London to play for us in our outfits. The comment that stood out the most during the game was Declan Rice is the 2.0 version of Granit Xhaka, and he's lazy, he's sluggish, he was not moving fluidly in the midfield, providing passes for our striking core. Folks, do not judge Declan Rice on his first game. And many of you Arsenal fans are already panicking over the signing. Oh, we paid too much money for him. Remember what I said when we signed Declan Rice? I said this to you Arsenal fans, the one that are ultra positives. I got love for you guys. But if you're asking people like me, people like Scripto, people like DT, people like Lee Gunner, who are diehard Arsenal fans like me, the old heads as they call us, or the criticals, the one that always give like negative analysis. We're not giving any analysis that's negative towards the club. What happened to Declan Rice yesterday was that he was playing for his new club for the first time at Wembley, of all places. Wembley, okay? The most important to me, it is the most important football ground in English football history, bro. Wembley. Not even my own stadium, the Emirates, because why? Ever since Arsenal moved to the Emirates in 2006, we have not won the Premier League at that stadium. We have not won the Europa Cup. We have not won any Conference Cup when it comes to major trophies in that stadium. The only trophies that we have accumulated at the Emirates since 2006 have been the following: FA Cups and Community Shields. Believe it or not, folks, Pep Guardiola played yesterday his 19th game against the Arsenal. That includes his Barcelona career, Bayern Munich, and also Manchester City. We got lucky against Manchester City yesterday because the game was extended to 109th minute past the regulation time because Thomas Partey clashed heads with Kyle Walker. And during the extra time, I believe that 8 minutes of additional time was given. And Mikel Arteta pulled lucky substitute by putting Leandro Trossard in the game to replace Kai Havertz at the very last minute. With a lucky strike and a deflection, Arsenal was able to salvage a goal to send the game to extra times where we beat Manchester City with two saves by Aaron Ramsdale. One where he scared the crap out of Kevin De Bruyne who hit the post, and then the one that he saved from, I believe it was Rodri, if I'm not mistaken, who was the goal scorer to give Manchester City the title against uh, in the final of the Champions League to win the game, the title, and was the same guy who actually stopped the penalty. I may be wrong on who missed the penalty for Aaron Ramsdale. Congratulations to Aaron Ramsdale, by the way, who people criticized when the rumors were out there that we were going to sign David Raya. I'll get to that later. But again, Arsenal fans, we were lucky to beat Manchester City. It's not something to brag about. It is something, again, watch the games, preferably with no sounds on. Me, this is my new take on Arsenal games now this year. This is my motto. Headphones on. I'm watching my games, taking notes because why? I'm spotting the mistakes left and right. Gabriel Jesus was absent yesterday because he was injured, as we all know, and no one was up there doing their job until Leandro Trossard came. Kai Havertz cannot play center forward for this club. He's too sluggish. Flo Balogun, as we all know, is up for sale, even though Inter Milan right now is deciding whether they buy him or not. Eddie Nketiah was useless up front. And according to the rumors, West Ham United and Crystal Palace are looking to buy Eddie Nketiah. If you ask me for my opinion, I'd say sell immediately. Take the money, buy a striker who can actually play up front for the Arsenal Football Club because it is embarrassing. Yes, we are focusing on our defensive play against Erling Haaland. Yes, folks, Arsenal were able to stop Erling Haaland yesterday. Erling Haaland, as I always tell people, this guy score goals. He's not the complete package up front where he can actually torment defenders. If you have proper defense set in place, the Arsenal now is defensively where I need my club to be to compete against the major powerhouses in Europe and the Champions League and also in the Premier League. Defensively, check 10 out of 10. All positions are filled. We have all the pieces there to compete. In the midfield, we have all the pieces there to compete. Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, big up to you too. Respect for dominating Manchester City yesterday. But let's not make the mistakes. We were playing against a Manchester City B side. Again, a B side. Reason I say this, they were not playing at full strength. They were missing Almeric Laporte, who was replaced by John Stones yesterday. Ruben Diaz was at the back. Nathan Ake was not playing yesterday. And their goalkeeper was Ortega, the backup goalkeeper. In other words, Edison was not there to play. So in Manchester City, we did not have the distribution that we are used to. We beat a B-side Manchester City team. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I will always take the side of my club. Hooray! Congratulations, we beat Manchester City. But can we do this in the regular season when we begin this Saturday or this Sunday? Because this weekend, folks, we are back for real. The real games begin, where it counts for all the records and all the trophies and all the good stuff. Now, for those of you who are overjoyed over the weekend, I'm happy for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy this. But let's not rest on our principles here and say that this was a fair beating. We got lucky. We scrapped the victory against Manchester City. And mark my word, if we don't fix the striking situation by sending a proper striker, we will pay for this when Manchester City come to North London. They will beat us. And when we go travel to the Emirates in spring 2024, we will get a beating if we don't sign a striker immediately to help Gabriel Jesus lead this team. He cannot do it by himself. He's injury prone. Again, I highly recommend Mikel Arteta, please find a solution to sign us a proper striker. And moving on to other football news, the game that attracted me this weekend was not even the Arsenal game. I was watching Newcastle United against Villarreal from Spain, and congratulations to Harvey Barnes, the young English international winger slash striker from Leicester City, who was relegated, as we all know. And this young man was in tears when he signed with Newcastle United, who will be one of my dark horses team this year in the Premier League. Newcastle United, folks, will be one of the most annoying team to play against in the top seven. If people are scared, me, I'm scared of Chelsea as the main threat because they always keep an eye on what your neighbors are doing next door. And Chelsea to me is the biggest threat in London. But when it comes to English football as a whole, forget Manchester United will be challenging for second or third place. But the team that will be the true dark horse of the league this year, between these two, it will be shared. Aston Villa and Newcastle United. And if you ask me who to go with, I will go with Newcastle United. We saw what they could do last year. Now imagine combining Harvey Barnes with the likes of the young man from Real Sociedad from Sweden, Isak, healthy, if he can remain healthy, Caleb Wilson. All these guys are strikers slash wingers, something Arsenal don't have. Right there, and they already beat Arsenal when it comes to the striking core. Newcastle United have one of the most fearsome striking core in the Premier League, and nobody's paying attention. As well as Aston Villa, who have recently acquired Diaby from Bayer Leverkusen. This kid was supposed to go to Arsenal, and unfortunately, now he's going to be playing in the outfits of Aston Villa. Mark my word, folks, we are less than 5 days away from the kickoff of the season, and I'm already picking for the next 9 months the dark horse of the season. Newcastle United, folks. If you like to bet on football or soccer, if you are in Canada or the United States, this club will be a cash cow for you guys. Newcastle United. Please keep track of that football club weekly, week in and week out. And now moving on to transfer news when it comes to sports. And one of our famous Arsenal players, to me, I call him one of my favorite Arsenal PK takers, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, have joined officially the French outfits powerhouse European football club Olympique Lyonnais to reunite with one of our best players, one of our best strikers that we've ever had at this club, Alexander Lacazette, who I wish I had now because with the absence of Gabriel Jesus up front, we are butt naked when it comes to the striking department. And if we had Lacazette, even though he's 32 years old, I would still have my Laka playing up front because when he was there, he did not give you much option when it comes to pace. But when it comes to linking plays as a center forward, no one did it better, even better than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Alexander Lacazette was that guy up front. And I miss him, I miss him, and I miss him. And every time Jesus is injured, not on the pitch, I miss the presence of Alexander Lacazette. And no one can feel his boot right now at this club. Not Kai Havertz, even though he have a 65 million pound tag on him, he cannot fill that role. He's not suit. This is not his style. He's not qualified to play as a center forward. So let's not let that same mistake Chelsea did with him repeat at the Emirates, please. Mikel Arteta again. I will address this. Buy us a freaking striker as soon as possible. And when you come to Arsenal, with great sadness, I would like to wish a farewell to our number two goalkeeper, who's soon to be a Nottingham Forest number one goalkeeper, the American goalie Matt Turner, who will be signing with Nottingham Forest on a 3 year contract or a 4 year contract, if I'm not mistaken. And also, I'm expecting Arsenal to replace him by Friday with the signing of David Raya from Brentford FC, and I believe his fee will be around 25 to 30 million pound, and he will be an Arsenal player. He will be brought here to compete with Aaron Ramsdale for the number one spot, and also to compete with him in the Champions League squad selection. And congratulations to West Ham United for signing one of my favorite Mexican defensive midfielder players, who I thought Arsenal was going to sign this summer if we didn't get Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo. But unfortunately, this young man will be playing for West Ham United to replace Declan Rice. West Ham United, come on, you hammers. Money well spent on Mr. Edson Alvarez. This kid, I used to watch him when he played for in the Apertura, and I remember when Ajax were recruiting midfielders, and he was in the top five recruits. This kid here is 25 years old, standing at 6 foot 2, 6 foot 3, commanding defensive midfielder. West Ham United, money well spent. If you ask me, I believe that West Ham United has signed this guy for the next 5 years to be a force to. He play in the mold of Patrick Vieira, but more like a Yaya Toure. Pace. He's aggressive. He's a paceful defensive midfielder, and the most important thing is box to box, which is why West Ham chose him over James Ward-Prowse, who was supposed to sign with West Ham from Southampton. Now he's looking to make a transfer to Tottenham Hotspur, if I'm not mistaken. So, congratulations to West Ham United on signing the Mexican defender Edson Alvarez, 25 years old, and his medical is due in 24 hours. And for all the transfer news, and as we approach the conclusion of my report here, Tottenham fans, your prayers have been answered because for some reason, I don't know if Tottenham fans practice voodoo, because it is ridiculous how you guys are keen on holding on to Harry Kane, your longest service striker, because I've been watching your club for the last 30 years, paying attention closely to Tottenham, and you don't want to end the relationship with Harry Kane. And Bayern Munich keep coming up short with the money, and they have asked Bayern Munich to pay 105 million pounds for Harry Kane, which is fair to Tottenham. Yes, you are my enemy, but when it comes to football, I have to respect you, even though you are the annoying football club, the stone in our boots that's been causing freaking media a dispute between the two clubs over that, especially Expression. You, I know you're probably the one working on that sorcery to retain the service of Harry Kane. But like it or not, folks, you know my wish. I would like Harry Kane to play for Bayern Munich next year. I want this guy to win trophies. So he's not gonna win trophy at Tottenham. We all know that. That's the basic. It's a basic club. I cannot compare them to Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, or Chelsea, or Manchester City. You're not there yet. Tottenham. Uh, I'm not trying to put any curse on you guys. It's just that you don't deserve a player in the caliber of Harry Kane. So Harry, speak to your agent, and most importantly, twist the ears of Daniel Levy, so that way you can get your transfer complete, so you can play for Bayern Munich, so you can win real trophies, so you know what that feels like to be a winner towards the end of your career. You are 30 years old, my good man. Please save yourself and do what it takes to leave Tottenham, because this club is bringing your value down. The more you stay at Tottenham, the more your value will go down. And one day when you like in 30, 33, 34, 35, and you want to make this move of yours to America to play in the NFL or in the MLS, they may look you over and choose another player. Why? Again, lack of trophies. In America, people are worshiping Lionel Messi. Messi is living off the credits and all the trophies he have gained in Europe, playing for Barcelona and also playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and of course, winning the most recent tournament in Dubai and Saudi Arabia when they had the World Cup. Messi have this thing where now in America, he's a brand like Adidas, Nike, and the other companies. So Harry Kane, if you want to play in the NFL in the future, the move to Bayern Munich would be wise. It will improve your stock, you will win trophy, and you may even surpass Wayne Rooney. So, man, it's up to you. And last but not least, the situation at Paris Saint-Germain, as we all know, Kylian Mbappe's situation is still being discussed, and he has not made the move yet to Real Madrid. I'm crossing my fingers because we are running out of time. We are in less than 3 weeks for the transfer market to officially close across all five European leagues. So please, Kylian Mbappe, I would like you and your team, especially your mother, who's half Spaniard, if I'm not mistaken, please work on that deal. Real Madrid need you, and you need them. So it's a situation where the ball's in Paris Saint-Germain's court, and they're waiting for Real Madrid to come up with the fee, which is up to 200 million pounds to sign Kylian Mbappe to make it official. But that's not what brought me to Paris Saint-Germain on the conclusion of my report for the day. It is the fact that Neymar, folks, yes, Neymar. I did not even know this guy still play football or soccer. This guy is looking to quit Paris Saint-Germain as of this afternoon. Neymar wants to quit to join, guess who, folks? Chelsea Football Club. Now, we all know that Neymar had a relationship with Pochettino while he was coaching at Paris Saint-Germain. He was one of his most trusty captains at Paris Saint-Germain. So it seems that Mauricio Pochettino is looking to bring Neymar to Stamford Bridge. Now, I will not laugh this off because I don't have my striker yet. When I do get my striker at the Arsenal Football Club to replace Gabriel Jesus, I will have more time in the season, in the middle of the season, to laugh off this transfer because Neymar don't even play football anymore. So I don't know how Neymar could survive 9 months playing football in England, where it is the best league in the world, the most physical league in the world. Neymar cannot even take a punch at practice, and he forget about it, folks. So on my boring report, that's all I have for you guys when it comes to my daily transfer. Sorry for the lengthy report where I had to do this in 2 segments. And stay tuned, folks. And don't forget that this weekend, to all my Premier League betters, if you love the English Premier League like I do, remember we are back. We are back, folks. We are back. The English League is back, the best league in the world. And I would like to update you. If you're an Arsenal fans, don't forget that we have our fixtures. We have our next 5 games. We will begin this season on Saturday, August 12th, against Nottingham Forest. And it is with great sadness that my team will be playing against our goalkeeper from the United States, Matt Turner. Sorry, Matty, we're gonna have to beat your new club, Nottingham Forest, on Saturday, August 12th. And don't forget that Crystal Palace will be playing this game at the Emirates on Saturday, August the 12th, and then we travel on Monday the 21st to go to Crystal Palace, and I hope that Arsenal give me a victory against Crystal Palace. And then on Saturday, August 26th, we play Fulham at home, and we will play after that Manchester United on September 3rd, and then we have an away game in September before the international break against Everton. So, Arsenal fans, grab your calendars, grab a pen and paper, and mark this down. We play on August, this Saturday to begin the season, Nottingham Forest, and then we play after that Crystal Palace on Monday, the 21st of August. We'll play on August 26th, Fulham at home, and then we'll play Manchester United at home. And I hope that all these games are victories, 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 victories. The game against Manchester United will be a tough game. And I expect United to cause a challenge for Arsenal. So please, Gunners, I hope that we can have our striking situation solved before this game against Manchester United. So, Nottingham Forest, it's a bit complicated with them. We did beat them. We beat them at the Emirates, and they did beat us last spring. So you owe me one, Nottingham, and then we get to play against Fulham, and hopefully we can get a two games, a 2 out of 2 against Fulham, and then of course Everton, who we lost to 1-0 and at Goodison Park last year. And I would like Arsenal to go to Goodison Park on September uh, the 16th to avenge that loss because I felt like the loss against Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Everton, these games were the one that cost us the league, and we have to fix those. And so for Saturday, if you're not an Arsenal fans, I'm going to give you a complete guide to the inauguration. And for Arsenal fans this season, I will keep you guys posted with our upcoming fixtures. Like the next 5 games, I will always put it for you guys. So I already give you your next 5 games. But if you're not an Arsenal fans, we have your fixtures for you too for the weekend, for this Saturday. And don't forget that Manchester City, as the champion, will kick off the season this Friday at 3 p.m. against Burnley FC, who's now being coached by the Vincent Company as their manager. And I expect an Arsenal player by the name of Sabi Lonkonga to be playing for Burnley FC. For all the bettors out there, it's obvious that you're going to pick Manchester City to beat Burnley. This is the season opener. Safe bet, Manchester City, comfortable win, 2-0, 3-1, 3-0. Manchester City should dominate this, and this is the reason why they rested half of their team over the weekend and the Community Shield. Now, on Sunday, on Saturday, you will have one, two, three, four, five, 6 games for the Premier League. My Arsenal will be playing at 7:30 a.m. against Nottingham Forest. I may wake up early to watch that game, or I will just catch it on the replay. If I do wake up, I will watch that game live. I want to because it's a season opener. And after that, at 10 a.m., we'll have 4 consecutive games. Bournemouth play West Ham United. Brighton will play against FC Luton, who's an Arsenal little brothers club. Where we actually play our preseasons in their stadium almost like every year over the last 20 years. And if you want the verdict for the West Ham United game versus Bournemouth, go with West Ham United for a W. Don't do any net minus or plus. Just go with the West Ham United. With the acquisition of Edson Alvarez from Mexico, I definitely have a reason to pick West Ham United to beat Bournemouth this Saturday. Brighton versus Luton at 10 a.m. This game will be at the Amex Stadium. I expect Moises Caicedo to play for Brighton Albion. He has not been sold to he have not been sold to Chelsea FC yet. He's still a Brighton player. He may remain at the club until January as well, according to how this transfer thing is going on between him and his team and his agent and Chelsea. So if you want to place a little wager here, go with Brighton Albion to beat Luton for a W. And then we have Everton at 10 a.m. against Fulham. If you want to go with the winner here, I would definitely go with Fulham to upset Everton in their season opener at Goodison Park. +1 Fulham FC or +2 Fulham FC against Everton. And then at 10 a.m. we'll have Sheffield United play Crystal Palace. This one here, if you ask me, I have no say. This may be a draw. If you go for the over and under, go with over and under 2 goals or 3 goals between these two. There will be goals because the defense are shaky, both clubs. Sheffield's United defense is shaky because I did watch them in the championship last year, which is the second division after the Premier League. Yes, they did get promoted, but I was paying attention to their defense. And Crystal Palace will exploit with the likes of Eze, the likes of the young men from France who lead the striking core, and don't forget the young Elise, who I'm looking forward to seeing perform in the Premier League this season for Crystal Palace. So I'm expecting nothing more but a draw between these two. And this may end up as a 1-1, 2-2, or even a 3-3 affair. There will be goals, but I cannot see the victor in this bout between Sheffield United and Crystal Palace. My gut feeling is telling me to go with Crystal Palace, but again, it's Sheffield United. They're new in the league, they're energetic, and they're looking to capitalize for missing last season. And then the last game on Saturday, I already mentioned in my report that these two teams will be the dark horses of the Premier League, and coincidentally, they will be facing one another this Saturday for the first game for week number one. For week one, Newcastle versus Aston Villa will be my game of the week when they face each other at St James's Park. And if you're asking me who's going to be the winner of this one, I will not go with plus or minus. Straight W for your wallet here. Newcastle United will beat Aston Villa in a scrappy battle 1-0 at St James's Park. If you ask me why, home turf advantage. And then on Sunday to close the opening weekend, and I actually Manchester United will close the weekend when they play on Monday night versus Wolverhampton. Manchester United should be the hot favorite next Monday to beat Wolves. Scoreline 2-1, 2-0 United. And if Manchester United score more than 2 goals in that game, I will be highly surprised. But to go back to Sunday, we're going to have Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur. I want Brentford to beat Tottenham 1-0, even though I know Spurs are the favorite to win this game according to the bookies. If you're an Arsenal fan, please put the money on Brentford to beat Tottenham in their stadium 1-0 or 2-1. As for the match of the day, of course, it's not my match of the week because me, I'm choosing Newcastle versus Aston Villa. But the whole world will be focused on Chelsea versus Liverpool. These guys have been bitter rivals since 2002, and we know why. Since Rafael Benitez and Jose Mourinho situation. Now, fast forward now to 2023, we have a brand new revamped Chelsea with the like of Nicola Jackson, Mikhailo Modric, potentially the transfer of Neymar. Oh God, please don't make it happen. This team and Nkunku, who's not injured, he will be ready for Sunday to face the new Liverpool core of the McAllister, Danis Lubojai, Jota, and then of course Nunes, and the King, Mohamed Salah. Alhamdulillah. So if you want to know the winner between these two teams that will compete for the match of the week in the Premier League between Liverpool and Chelsea, I will go with ding 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 Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. Yes, folks, I'm picking Chelsea to beat Liverpool in a scrappy affair of 1-0, 2-1 Chelsea, and I'm expecting 1 goal from either of these two players. If you want to put a bet on who's going to score for Chelsea this Sunday, one Mikhailo Modric, Christopher Nkunku. Between these two players, because I'm Jackson is a striker, I expect them to score. But if you want to pick on a magical bet of who's going to score between Christopher Nkunku or Mikhailo Modric, mark my word, folks, and I will make sure I address it on my next report for my last 7 day for next week. Christopher Nkunku or Mikhailo Modric from the Ukraine will score a goal for Chelsea against Liverpool to begin this season of this exciting Premier League, which will start on Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and it will conclude week one on Monday afternoon. That's all I have for my report, folks. And this was my audio radio podcast version of my last 7 days in retrospective slash my daily art debrief. And I hope that you guys enjoy your week. And please stay out of chaos and have fun and enjoy the Premier League, folks. We are back. And on that note, I would like to let you guys go with a little Biggie Small outro. And again, respect to Jamaica. Happy birthday to you guys.